Everybody ready? The U.S. Marine and his Afghan interpreter, whose lives first intersected in Helmand province during the Afghanistan war in 2010.
I was in Kill Company, 39th Marines. I had 1st Platoon, so I had 35 infantry Marines. I had 1 staff sergeant, 3 sergeants, and our job was to go out there, locate, close with, and destroy the enemy by fire maneuver.
And you couldn't do it without someone like Zach.
I can navigate through the fields or through the deserts or the villages, but I don't understand the culture. I'm unable to interact with the populace really at all without him by my side. It became immediately evident that Zach was different, whether Zach was listening to a radio where the Taliban were talking and he knew they were about to initiate an ambush, and he sprints through a minefield, tackles the guy who's about to initiate the ambush. He went from somebody who just worked for us to he became one of us.
We didn't think we are like different people. We think like same Marines, because we are in the same field. If we get die, we all get die same place. We gotta help each other.
In the new book, Always Faithful, Major Tom Schumann and Zainullah Zaki open up about their bond from 7 months spent together on the battlefield to Zach and his family's harrowing escape as Kabul fell to the Taliban 1 year ago this month. In 2011, when Tom's first deployment to Afghanistan ended, Zach continued working with U.S. forces as an interpreter for an Army Special Forces unit. You made a promise to Zach before you left. What was it?
I said that I was going to do everything I could do to make sure that he came to America.
Zach and his family were eventually forced into hiding when his work with the U.S. military made him a constant target of death threats from the Taliban. What would they say?
You gotta pay for this. We gotta cut out your head from your body and throw you to the river.
In 2016, Zach reached out to Tom for help applying for a special immigrant visa, a program for Afghan citizens who worked with American forces.
For the next 5 years, a few times a year, we would re-engage with the program. So we would try and fail.
You reached out to politicians, you created a GoFundMe page. Even the Secretary of State at a hearing says he's aware of Zach's case.
Give me your assurance, as you've been asked by Senator Leahy and others, that this will be a high priority to protect those men and women and their families whose lives are at risk because they were willing to stand up on our side.
Yes, absolutely.
You must think at that point, well, he's coming home.
There was a lot of hope.
But
it was a false summit. Every time we thought, this is it, this general has come in, this admiral is reporting in. These people were sincere and earnest in what they were trying to do. And it wasn't that any one individual was dishonest or didn't try their best. It's just that the system in and of itself.
It added up to a betrayal, though, right?
He did his part.
And we didn't do ours.
Do you have your visa?
No.
The urgency of Zach's situation increased with the president's announcement last summer.
Our military mission in Afghanistan will conclude on August 31st.
That's when I started this guerrilla marketing campaign. If you could help him get back to America, please reach out.
With Zach in Afghanistan trying to get passports for himself, his wife, and 4 children, Tom was working from his home in the U.S. to find someone at the airport in Kabul to get Zach's family out. We've seen those images you posted of you and your family waiting desperately outside the airport. What was that like?
That was very first moment in my life. I never seen like.
And you've been in combat.
Yeah. It was the collapsing of our government, our country, to the enemy.
Zach didn't get out on the first try, and he left you a voicemail.
We just returned back to our apartment because there was a gunshot fire everywhere. That's why we are returned back to our house.
But on the third try, you finally made it out.
When we get there and I just send them texts, we are here. And they just tell me to come to that door and hold your son on the shoulder so he can see you.
Your son was your signal.
They call me Zach. That was a very happiest moment.
How is it possible that he still doesn't have a visa?
He was recently denied in March, and we have submitted an appeal.
They don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe they deport us again to Afghanistan.
And what happens if you go back to Afghanistan?
Kill.
So the fight's not over.
Zach has spent a decade being persecuted for his service to our country, all because he wanted to see a brighter future for Afghanistan, and he felt that partnering and allying with the U.S. was the best way to accomplish that.
Exactly.
It boggles your mind, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah, he worked with us. He served basically, as you heard him say, as a Marine, put his life at risk, and it doesn't appear that anyone has bad intentions. Just the bureaucracy is stuck.
Well, as the gentleman said, that everybody's very earnest about it and want it, but it's been a year.
He needs a visa.
And when you see and you know what he did, and others, I'm sure he's not the only one.
Not the only one. There's thousands.
Yeah.
We did reach out to the State Department. They say that more resources have been added to the SIV program, but didn't give any specific answers on Zach's case. The department says there are actually thousands of applicants in the pipeline still being processed right now. So we hope they are processed well, because until you have that visa, you're always at some risk of being deported.
Yes.
Yeah.
How about the book? Is it out?
It's out today, Always Faithful. We'll be right back.